It was the Lantern Rite Festival, near midnight, but this was when it felt like the festival was just about to reach its peak. Most of the Liyue vision holders were doing a dance performance on stage that showcases the beauty and strength of the different elements and their reactions. The performance was going really well, with the citizens cheering them on, watching with amusement. As the performance was about to finish, Yunjin signals the others that it's time for their grand finale. She waves her flag, but suddenly though, they get interrupted by a foggy gray smoke covering the entire stage. They couldn't see anything and started panicking, but the audience just keeps on cheering, thinking it's part of the performance, when it actually wasn't. Yelan and Xiao, who was watching them from above, immediately heads towards the stage, thinking it might have been a surprise attack. Xiao reaches there first, and uses his anemo powers to clear the deep smoke. When it finally faded, their eyes open with shock, as they found Ningguang eliminated, laying on the stage. The vision holders are visibly sad and panicked by the sight, making the citizens start to be concerned, starting to think that it wasn't part of it after all. Yunjin, immediately calming herself down, starts to act like Ningguang's elimination was all part of the performance, not wanting to make the people panic, as it would just make things worse. Baedou helps her in this act, and urges the other vision holders to also play along. They then do their spectacular grand finale, barely keeping it together, and the performance ends. The citizens weren't fully convinced that it was part of the act, but Yelan quickly makes the people go back to their homes before they could ask any more questions, making an excuse that the festival is now over, and urges them to stay inside for now, fearing for another surprise attack. The members of the Qizing, Gunyu and Keiqing, and the other performers guide the people out of the area, while Yelan goes to the stage to investigate the body. She requests the others to stay very far away, not wanting to tamper any of the clues. Yanfei asks if she can help her investigate, as two heads are better than one, she slowly says, but Yelan turns her down, saying she works better alone, and that Keiqing and the others needs her more. She reluctantly complies, and leaves, while Yelan looks around the body. After a few hours, there wasn't seem to be another attack, so the performers meet again, near the stage, to discuss what happened. Gunyu arrives, bringing Xinhe, Child, and Qiqi with her. She says that although they weren't part of the performance, and only watched from the audience, they were still vision holders, so she thought that they should still be included in the discussion. Yelan is glad that all of them are present in the meeting, as Ningguang's elimination is very likely done by a vision holder. She then proceeded to explain what she found. Ningguang was eliminated in one slash that started near her stomach, up until her left shoulder, making her think that this was done by a sword, claymore, or polearm user, as she never seen a bow or catalyst leave that mark. There wasn't any fingerprints or footprints near her body, so there isn't much they could go off of. She then asks if anyone found anything strange or suspicious. Gunyu then claims that she saw something out of the ordinary. When she found Xinhe, her red ropes were undone, and they were all missing from her body. In addition to that, she was very aggressive, trying to attack one of the civilians, but luckily Qiqi was stopping her. After waiting for the perfect time, she then proceeded to sneakily put her ropes back, while she was too distracted by the zombie, calming her down. They look at her with suspicion, and Xinhe narrates from their perspective. During the festival, when the smoke started to subside, someone swiftly removed her red ropes, while she was distracted, but couldn't see who it was, as they were very fast, and blended in with the crowd. That's why they were removed. She promised that she didn't hurt anyone though, let alone eliminate their leader. Yanfei then assumes that the person who eliminated Ningguang and the person who removed Xinhe's ropes are the same. Out of the blue, Baedou starts accusing Child, the bad guy amongst them, the same person who tried to destroy their city. She wants to put him to jail right now, as she very well thinks he did it, and her instincts are usually never wrong. Others start to agree with her, but Xingzhou doesn't, claiming there isn't enough evidence, and blaming Child is what the actual murderer would want us to think. Yanfei agrees, and requests for Child to give his defense on how it's not him. He optimistically takes the stage, and says he has two ways to prove his innocence. First, is that he was with Chi during their entire performance, drinking cocoa goat milk together. Her journal can even prove that. But Chi can't vouch for him, as she doesn't even remember being at the festival, because zombie. And second, the person who eliminated Ningguang must have been one of the performers. If Yelan claims that she was eliminated using a close combat weapon, then how would one of the audience reach her during the short time the smoke was up, concluding that the murderer is one of the performers? Xin Yan can sort of vouch for that, as she was at the most front of the stage when the smoke was up, and she didn't hear any footsteps coming from the audience. Yan Fei thinks that what Child said made sense, removing suspicion of all the vision holders who weren't performers. Child is not done though, and adds that he has done extensive research on every person in Liyue, and Chang Yun was always someone he found interesting. He states the possibility that Chang Yun might have gotten too hot-blooded when the smoke suddenly appeared, as it usually happens in loud and crowded places, and he possibly accidentally eliminated Ningguang when he got too triggered and couldn't control his aggressiveness. Chang Yun denies his statement, saying that he never lost his cool during their entire routine, after getting some tips from Zhongli and Yunjin. Yan Fei also shuts down his accusation, as it's just a very big speculation, and he had no proof at all of it actually happening. Hu Tao has an idea, and requests for her and Zhongli to go see Ningguang's body, because they might spot more clues, as she's very experienced with dealing with clients. Yelan disagrees, saying that she cannot show them the body if the murderer is still not caught. She adds that she already found every clue there is, and presented it to them, only keeping one thing a secret, waiting for a later day to show it. Hu Tao is then seen visibly sad, and says that it's a bummer that they don't have much information. Xing Zhou replies to her, saying that even though it will be hard, they still need to catch who eliminated Ningguang in the name of justice. Baedou fully supports his statement, and she asks that they go over everything again, in case they missed something, and the others agree. After hours of talking and discussing, they were stumped on who was the actual murderer. They agree to just continue it tomorrow, as it was extremely late. Before they leave, Yelan announces to everyone that no vision holder should ever leave the city until the person who eliminated Ningguang has been found. She has to do this to prevent the murderer from getting away, and requests for their assistance in making sure no vision holder secretly escapes. Baedou says that she could make her crew surrounded the seas of Liyue to prevent them from sneakily escaping through the water, and Yelan thinks it's a great plan, appreciating her help. Keicheng also helps, stating that she could make the Millilith guard all the exits of their city. She now has this power, because Keicheng will be the new leader for their nation, but only momentarily. Yelan told her, in private, to keep what happened to Ningguang a secret, fearing chaos might ensue if they just announce it out of nowhere. Keicheng agrees, and plans to just tell others that Ningguang is busy, and she's her substitute currently. The vision holders then separate. Now begins the time of looking for more in-depth clues surrounding each person, and waiting to find the murderer's slip-ups. To be continued. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe with notifications on to get notified on when I eventually upload a part 2, and like the video if you ended up enjoying this story, as it took quite a while to finish. Bye.